What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and it is finally time for the Week 31 Premier League predictions. I'll give a shout out to all the new members that joined the channel since the last video, but here are all the winning accumulators sent to the members, apart from the one at the top that I just want to show you because I'm just gutted, man. It was 125 to 1. We had all these selections: Arsenal to win and Saka to score. Had Saka scored, Arsenal to win. This would have come in because we had Jesus as well, Salah to score, over 8.5 corners, and there were 9, and Fabinho to get carded. 1 Saka goal away, but we had the result of both teams scored double with Celtic and Borussia Dortmund at the weekend. The Premier League handicap double, Aston Villa and Man City. The UK treble, Celtic, Newcastle, Villa again. La Liga double, Real Madrid halftime, full-time, and Atletico Madrid to win. And then Saturday fourfold as well, Man City to win, Atalanta, Juventus, and Barcelona. But here are the members that I want to give a shout out to. That's Derek Smith, Blue Bella, Califia, Thokozani Thebethe, Millie G, Alex Suvak, Martins Gabriel, and Sophien. Those are the people that have joined the channel since the last time. So if you want to join the channel, support me, and get exclusive members posts, then be sure to click the join button down below or the first link in the description. Drop a like on the video. Leave your predictions down in the comments below. Last week we had a really good week. We got 5 perfect scores, including that 2-2 draw between Arsenal and Liverpool, as much as it pains me to say. So make sure you get predictions down in the comments. And now let's get on with week 31. Kicking it off, we do have Aston Villa up against Newcastle, and I see this as being a very similar matchup to the Newcastle-Brentford. I think Brentford had their chances. Newcastle ended up winning 2-1. So I correctly predicted Newcastle would win 2-1 last week. I correctly predicted that Aston Villa would win 2-0 last week. So I've got a pretty good handle on this. I was thinking of a draw, but Newcastle, I'm going to go for another 2-1 win. It's going to be a very, very difficult win. Obviously, Aston Villa haven't lost in a long time. Unai Emery is working miracles over there. And I mean, look, Aston Villa actually up in 6th. Obviously, Brighton have games in hand and will likely change that. But Aston Villa currently in 6th place. But Newcastle sitting pretty as well, having played a game less in 3rd place. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle, but unlike last week where I tipped Aston Villa and Newcastle both to win, I'm simply going to tip both teams to score at 1.8 because I think both teams will, and it's quite difficult to predict the result between these two, I think. After that, Chelsea up against Brighton at Stamford Bridge, and I'm going to tip an outright winner that isn't the favourite. I've got odds here of 2.75, but they say 2.6. I'm going to tip Brighton to win. I think Brighton were very unlucky not to get a win against Tottenham. Chelsea can barely score a goal. I think Brighton games are quite high scoring. I'd expect a goal for Chelsea eventually, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brighton with odds of 2.6, 2.7. I've got 2.75 here, but it's funny. If you've watched this channel for many, many years, I remember back in 2019, 2020, I predicted Brighton to win like 2 games in one of those seasons. I never, ever backed Brighton to win. This was when they were quite a lot worse, quite considerably worse than they are now. But now I'm backing Brighton to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which is, yeah, absolutely crazy. And these odds just suggest how crazy that is. So I'm going for the win for Brighton at 2.75. After that, Goodison Park, Everton against Fulham. Both teams in dire need of a turnaround. Obviously, Fulham safe from relegation, but you know it's not looking good with these losses. Everton, however, they need points, and luckily they're playing a weakened Fulham, and I think they're going to get the points. So I'm actually going to go for a 1-0 win to the Toffees. I don't see them scoring many more than that, to be honest, but I am going to go for a 1-0 win, and my tip is Everton to win at just above evens. At evens 2.03. I think this is really great value for Everton, who in theory should be a better team, who are playing a weakened Fulham at Goodison Park, which is a very difficult place to go. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Everton there. After that, Southampton up against Palace. Palace coming off of an unbelievable result against Leeds, and Southampton, again, really, really desperate times now. They need points. I think they might just scrape a point in this one. I think Palace, after getting that 5-1 win against Leeds, you could argue they're pretty much safe now, but I just think this is going to be a draw. I don't know why. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Palace could definitely win, but something just tells me after a 5-1 win, they might just get caught slipping a little bit, and Southampton can take advantage of that and at least get a point on the board. So I'm going to go 2-2. My tip is both teams to score at 1.9. After this is Tottenham up against Bournemouth. Bournemouth doing well. Win-loss, win-loss. You know what's coming next? A loss. But in actual fact, you know, win-loss is all you need. If you can win 2 and lose 1, I mean, you lose to Brighton, Aston Villa, they're in good form. Losing to Arsenal last minute. Bournemouth looking good. But Tottenham are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a 3-0 win. Respect to Bournemouth and what they're doing. I still think they will get relegated. But if they're going to get points from the final few games, I don't think it's going to be the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham themselves very much have something to play for, being the top 4. So I'm going to go for Tottenham to win 3-0 and the tip of Tottenham -1 at 2.2 because it's a handicap I think they cover easy. Even if Bournemouth score, I think Tottenham win this one quite comfortably. I think Kane scores again. Obviously, last week out, we had Tottenham to win 2-1 and Kane to score, both of which happened. So I'm quite confident with this prediction here. You might see an upset, but I just don't see it. After that, Wolves up against Brentford. Something's telling me Wolves are going to get something from this game. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, close game. I think, well, hence my tip, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw because I find it difficult to say that no one scores in this game with the way Brentford have been playing. I think they will be able to get a goal, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. My tip is actually draw, 3.12. The lower score in the game, the more it lends itself to a draw, and I'm going to go for a draw between these two teams. I think that's quite likely, and I think Wolves would take a point at this point, especially, you know, against a decent Brentford side who essentially have nothing really to play for. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there. After that, Manchester United up against Leicester City. This one's going to be mental. 5-0 to Man City. I don't care about the Champions League. I'm recording this before the Champions League has happened, so I don't know what happened between City and Bayern Munich, but it literally doesn't matter. City's bench is good enough to beat this Leicester side. They're going to beat this Leicester side. They're going to get pumped. And every year, the banker that I've had for many, many seasons gone by is Man City to win and both teams to score as far as Leicester are concerned. But I just don't see it. I mean, Leicester, they lost to Bournemouth. They lost to Villa. They managed to goal. Lost to Palace. They managed to goal. They drew with Brentford. They are usually scoring. But if you can't score to Southampton, you can't score against Bournemouth, you're probably not going to score against Man City, who, you know, just destroy teams. And they do get consolation goals here and there, like in these two last games. But, well, I mean, that was the first goal. But you know what I mean. I think City are going to batter them. My tip is Man City -2 at 2.2. So to win by 3 or more goals. This could be a 3-0, could be a 4-1. So I'm not going to stick with the win to nil market or anything, but Man City to win by 3 or more goals seems pretty good. Maybe look at Mahrez to score against this old club because I reckon there might be some rotation with the Champions League. Maybe he'll start, but just have a look at the Bayern Munich fixture. After this, West Ham up against Arsenal. Hard as an Arsenal fan where that draw feels like a loss, and mental that with a recent form of like this, that one draw potentially puts the title in Man City's hands, because if Man City win every game they have left, they win the Premier League. Obviously, if Arsenal do as well, they win too, but one of those is at the Etihad against Man City. I'm just hoping as an Arsenal fan that maybe Brighton can cause Man City some problems in their fixture and Arsenal just keep doing what they're doing. I'm going to have to back Arsenal in this one 2-1. Those odds are quite short, I'm not going to lie. I'm not super confident, but I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal, as I'm not confident on the result, and I think West Ham could get something. My tip is both teams to score at 1.8 at much higher odds here. I think Man City are going to win the league. I've been saying it, you know, the whole season. Honestly, the whole season I've been saying that I think Man City will win the league just because I didn't think Arsenal would win at Anfield. And they didn't, unfortunately. So hopefully we can. Hopefully Man City drop points, because at the moment I don't see where they will, but we'll see. After this Nottingham Forest up against Man United, I think this is going to be a poor performance from United that gets them the win. One of those ones, you know what I mean, where you've done enough. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Man United, and because I think it's going to be just a bit of a meh game, I'm going to go for Man United to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.3. Obviously Nottingham Forest very much in need of the points as well, but Man City just a little bit too Man United, sorry, a little bit too good for Nottingham Forest in this one. And after that, it's Elland Road, Monday Night Football, Leeds up against Liverpool. This is going to be a Liverpool win and both teams to score situation. I'm going to go 3-1. My tip is Liverpool to win and both teams to score at 3.1. I think they'll win. They looked good against Arsenal in that second half when had it been 2-0 at half-time, I think Arsenal could have sustained the second half a lot better, maybe even attacked a bit more themselves, but Liverpool did look pretty fluid towards the end of that game and possibly could have grabbed it. So I'm going to go for a win here, 3-1 to Liverpool, and that is my final pick. So here are the summary of my predictions. I've got Newcastle to beat Villa, Brighton to beat Chelsea, that's a big one, Everton as well to get a much needed 3 points, Tottenham to batter Bournemouth, I think Wolves get a draw, Leicester get destroyed, Arsenal luckily managed to keep the distance between themselves and City, and then Man United and Liverpool get the job done as well. So that is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. We will be getting to the Europa League as well as the Champions League and Premier League very soon, probably when that hits the next stage, so keep an eye out for that. But leave your comments with your predictions down below, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.